So, welcome to all. I am Dipti Ranjan Patnaik from GL Bajaj Institute of Technology and Management, Greater Noida, and our course Digital Communication. These topics are including the in digital communication, that is scrambling, and in this class we will study about the scrambling and eye diagram. These are the different techniques to analyze the digital in the digital communication path, how the signal is propagating in this digital communication system, and these scrambling and eye diagram, these are both different techniques to analyze the digital signals, so that we can study the pattern of the signal or processing of the signal very easily. So, what are the contents we have studied up to this? We are referring from these books, that is Modern Digital and Analog Communication System by B.P. Lathi and Digital Communication by John G. Prokes. So, first of all we will go to the introduction of scrambling. So, by scrambling is used. So, scrambling is used for rearrange the digital data. So, whatever the digital data is coming, that in the form of digital bits, that is 0 1 0 1, whatever the digital data, we have to rearrange this digital data, because some disadvantage is there. That is why we are focusing on the rearrangement. So, the rearrangement is nothing but the scrambling technique. Okay. So, primarily used for preventing unauthorized access to the data. So, it is used to preventing the unauthorized access. So, we can say that it is used for security purpose. Okay. So, in general, a scrambler tends to make the data more random by removing long string of ones or zeros. So, a scrambler tends to make the data more random. If I will do random analysis, or the data will be random, then it is it can be said that it is very secure data. So, how we can make it random? By removing long strings of ones or zeros. So, let us say so many zeros are there, 1 1 1 1 1. So, this pattern are easy patterns. So, we have to randomly arrange these bits, so that we can secure the data in the processing of the digital communication system. So, this is the main theme is the removing the long string of ones or zeros. And next is your timing extraction of data by removing long strings of zeros and in the binary data. So, we will see what is the timing extraction. Okay. So, what is the significance of scrambler or scrambling? That is, main is security, and second one is your time extraction. So, this time extraction is related to your clock. So, whatever the signal is transmitting from the transmitter, and whatever the signal is receiving from at the receiver, the clocks should be synchronized. Okay. So, if there is no synchronization, then there will be a error at the receiver. So, this is the example of one scrambler. This is a scrambler, and this one is the descrambler. So, this is the, we can say we will study in the next very next slide in detail. So, these are the shift registers, and this the your XOR gate. So, this is the input S, and it is output T, and same output T is inserted at the receiver section, that is descrambler T, and whatever the output, at the descrambler output, it should be equal to S. Okay, these S and R should be equal. So we can say that scrambler. So figure shows the typical scrambler and descrambler. Okay, the scrambler consists of a feedback shift register, that is feedback shift register, and the matching descrambler has a feedback forward shift registers. So whatever I told you that the shift register, one is your feedback shift register and another is your feed forward shift register in the case of descrambler. So each stage in the shift register delays a bit by 1 unit. We have already studied in the digital electronics that shift registers are used as a delay unit. That is, the shift register delays the incoming bits by 1 bit, okay, or 1 unit. So to analyze the scrambler and the match descrambler, consider the output sequence T of the scrambler. So now I have to analyze what is the scrambler. Okay, so this is the output T. So and this is the input S. If S is the input sequence to the scrambler, then what is the T? So here you can see that here this is your S and this is also S. Okay, we can see that this is also this is your T. Okay, the T is going or forwarding inside the shift register. Okay, so there are 3 shift registers. It will delay faster in D1 unit, then it will delay by 2 units and then it will delay by 3 units. So I can write this output as 3 times delay and multiplied by the input signal your T. So this is the D3T at the shift register output, at the third shift register output. Next, this third shift register output is going to the next level, next stage of shift register, and another is going to the your XOR gate. So here this output is your D3T. Now this D3T is again shifted by 1 unit, then it would be D4T, and again at the 5th register it is again shifted by 1 unit, that is D5T. Now this is your D5T. Okay, so in the XOR gate, at the XOR gate there are 2 inputs. This input is your D5T and this input is your D3T. So your XOR output is your D3T XOR D5T. Okay, this is the output of this XOR gate. Now again second XOR gate is there. So your S, this is the input signal is S and this is the input signal D3T XOR D5T. So what is the value of T now? S XOR this one. Okay, X XOR this one. This one is nothing but S. Okay, that is nothing but the S XOR D3T XOR D5T. So I have already told you that the D represents the delay operator, that is D and T is the sequence T delayed by n units. So here your D5T means your sequence is T and it is delayed by how much unit? How many units? 5 units. So this D delay D and how much delay, that is signified by the term n. Okay. Next, adding, I want to solve this. So adding D3 XOR D5T to both sides of the above equation. So previously we have T equal to S XOR D3T XOR D5T. So your S XOR D3T XOR D5T. This is your equal to T. This was the first equation. Now I will add this one. So I will add at T, I will add this much means D3T XOR D5T. Then similarly I have, this is from equation 1, that is S D3T D5T. Now I will add this much, this is the thing. Now S equal to, see your from digital electronics basics, we can say that if there are same input 1 and 1 or 0 or 0, if they are passing through a XOR gate, okay, then what will be the output? They will provide 0. Okay, so same input means 0 and different input means 1. So these data are D3T and D3T, same D5T, they will not provide anything. So I have only S. So S equal to your T, D3T and D5T. I can say that this is the equation. Now we can write in both terms, there are same T is common, that's why I can extract this T outside and I can write 1 XOR D3 XOR D5. So if let's this D3T and D3 and D5, I will substitute by the symbol F. So I can write 1 XOR F multiplied by T. Okay. Now this is the input section. So our input section is a 1 XOR F multiplied by T. Now I will go to the descrambler part. So to design the descrambler at the receiver, we start with T, the sequence received at the descrambler. So you can see that this is the T, this is the output of the scrambler. Okay. So this output of the scrambler is acted as a input to the descrambler. This is the descrambler circuit. Okay. So now what will happen? So your this is the T. Okay. So TFT. Okay. You can see that I can write like this, T XOR FT. Okay. So TFT equal to your T XOR F. Instead of F, I can write D3 XOR D5 multiplied T, which is equal to S. So we should note that R should be equal to the input. So I have already told in the first slide, R should be equal to S. So R should be equal to T multiplied by D3 XOR D3T XOR D5T. I can write T, if I will take this take T as common, that is 1 XOR D3 XOR D5. I can write T multiplied by 1 XOR F. So again this is nothing but your S. So R equal to S. So now note that a single detection error in the received sequence T will affect 3 output bits in R. What this point I want to tell? If single detection error is in the received sequence, T will affect the 3 output bits are in R. It will affect 3 output bits in the R. Okay. If T will affect, because in the in this expression, in each term there are T term is there. So if T will affect once, then each term in the R will affected by the effect of T. Okay. Hence scrambling has the disadvantage of causing multiple errors for a single received bit error. So here we say that if T is only affected by error will occur at the T, then each bit of this received R is affected by this T. Okay. Next we will see one example. Let us say this is the input bit stream, okay, and it is fed to the scrambler. Okay, in figure A we have already seen that. Find the scrambler output T, assuming the initial content of the register to be 0. Here this is the actually this is a condition, because registers should be reset. Okay. So here we have already know that T equal to S plus Fs. Till now as per the figure 1, we can say that T equal to S XOR Fs, but if a number of shift registers are there, then we can say that T equal to S XOR Fs XOR F square S XOR FQS, that it will goes like this, and I can write S multiplied by 1 XOR F XOR F square XOR F3 like that. We know that F equal to D3 XOR D5. So I got F. Now I want F square. F square is nothing but D3 same multiplied by again D3 XOR D5. I will get F square. So I can say that 3 that is D6, and D3 D5 that is D8, D5 D3 D8, and again D5 multiply D5 that is D10. So we have already know the D8 and D8, it will cancel out. Okay. Now we have F square equal to D6 XOR D10. Now similarly F3 is nothing but the, we can say that F square multiplied by F, and we will get this much. Okay. Now how much I can write T. T is nothing but your S multiplied by 1 plus your F, okay, then F square, then FQ. This is I can write like this. So I can write this sequence as, I have sequence S. Now each term I want to find out these terms actually. So at D3S, these bits are delayed by 3 units. So it is shifted by 3 units. Then it is again shifted by 2 units, because 3 to 5 that is 2 units delay. Then again 5 to 6 that is 1 delay. Okay, this is the 1 delay, and this is the again 3 delays. This is for 1 delay. Similarly, it will be 15 up to 15 delay. Now I can get, this is the output of the, after delay I will get what is the output we can get after arranging this. I can get T equal to 1 0 1 1. I can actually this arrange this 1 0 0 0 0 1, again this term is 0, this is again 1, this is again 0 1, again 1. Okay. Similarly it will, these are the XOR actually, XOR. So I can get this as a output. So the input sequence contains the periodic sequence of, these are the periodic sequence as well as long strings of 0. The scrambler output effectively removes the periodic components as well as long strings of 0. So here we can see that the scrambler output is it removes the periodic component, that is 10 10 10, it is omitted. Okay, this periodic pattern, and as well as long strings of zeros are also omitted. So this is used to, this is used as a used for security purpose. Okay, if pattern will be known, then any hacker can know the pattern. So next technique is your eye diagram. So that was your scrambler descrambler pattern. Now it is your now eye diagram. So eye diagram is mainly used for your how much inter-symbol interference is there, I can see from the eye diagram. So if so many symbols are passing through the channel, so one symbol is interfering with the another adjacent symbol, and due to that the interference will come, that is nothing but the inter-symbol interference. So how to see this? I can see by eye diagram pattern. So eye diagram is a means of evaluating the quality of received digital signal. So the quality is nothing but how much interference is there. It makes possible the virtual examination of severity of the inter-symbol interference, that is virtual examination, that is we can see in the CRO or eye diagram device. So, we need a basic oscilloscope to generate the eye diagram. Okay. We can see in the oscilloscope. It can be generated by overlapping plots of the received signal for every symbol time. Okay. It can be generated by overlapping plots. So, in a particular bit period, we will see in the next slide. In the particular bit period, we can see by overlapping the plots, we can see the how this eye pattern is coming. Now, resultant plots look like eye. Whatever the plots will come, it looks like eye. So, it is called eye diagram. Now, consider a channel that is distortive or has finite bandwidth or both. Okay, due to this is a practical channel, this is a distorted channel, and we know that we have finite bandwidth only. We do not have infinite bandwidth. After passing through this non-ideal channel, the NRZ polar signal, we have already seen that what is NRZ polar signal of figure A becomes the waveform of figure E. So, this is the NRZ waveform. Okay. After passing through this, it is this diagram looks like this due to distortion. Okay. So, this is the ideal case, this is not an ideal case 0. Okay. After bit period, I can see that each bit has this is the TB, this is TB. If I will take two time period 2 TB, then this is the pattern of this input. Similarly, this is the pattern of the sinusoidal input. This is the pattern 0 to TB. Okay. Then TB to 2 TB, again TB to 2 TB. We can see the pattern is coming like this. For 1, this is like for 0, this is the equation. Now, this is the after distortion, after the passing through the channel, it is the distorted signal. And see, you can see that these are not looking like this. Okay, these are exactly not crossing the line at the same time interval. So, I can see that this is the distorted pattern. Okay, this is the distorted pattern. So, we can see that this is the how to analyze this pattern. This is the for bit 1 and for bit 0. This is the gap, that is this is the sampling point. This is the optimum sampling instant at maximum eye opening. If eye opening is greater, then that signal is less distorted. Okay. So, if this gap is signified by distortion at once, this gap is signified by distortion of 0. Okay. And this line is your the sampling line. So, you can see that this is the pattern, this is the distortion of timing, because this is a time axis, this is the distortion time, this is also distortion time, this is distortion of ones, and this is the distortion of 0, and this slope, you can say this is the slope, so the sensitivity to the sampling time. Okay. It gives the sensitivity to the sampling timing. Okay. How much sampling, how fast we can sample the signal. Okay. This is the okay. Last one is your from the typical eye diagram given in the figure, we can extract several key measures regards the signal quality, like maximum eye opening point. So, the eye opening amount at the sampling and decision instant, also eye opening, how much eye opening is there. This indicates that amount of noise in the detector can tolerate without making an error. If eye opening is much, then we are not able to find the I mean more noise is there, if less noise is there if eye opening is more. The quantity is known as noise margin. The instant of maximum eye opening indicates the optimum sampling or decision making instant. I have already told you this point. Last one is a sensitive to timing jitter. The width of the eye indicates the time interval over which the correct decision can still be made. Okay. And it is desirable to have an eye with the maximum horizontal opening. This is the desirable condition. If the decision making instant deviates from the instant when the eye has a maximum vertical opening, the margin of noise tolerance is reduced, already to the first point only. This causes higher error probability in pulse detection the slope of the eye shows how fast the noise tolerance is reduced. So, the slope, the vertical eye opening, the horizontal eye opening, these are the main particular points in which we can see how much sensitive the data are, and these are the some eye pattern which is used to analyze the digital data. Okay, and thank you very much. We will see in the next class. Okay.